Today in this video, we're standing in front of my 2017 Ford Focus ST, and I'm about to do the first of what most people do for their first mods, and that's upgrading the air filter. It's a cheap and easy mod, and in fact I've chosen a pretty cool air filter for this. I'm going to go ahead and be installing the green filter air filter here. This is a fairly cool air filter. It is made in the USA. It's much higher flowing than a traditional air filter that's in the car. And the nice thing is this is a reusable air filter, meaning you can wash it, clean it up, all that good stuff. To install this air filter, all you're going to need is the air filter. This is going to work for this green filter, high performance air filter, or even some of the K&Ns and things like that. I will go ahead and have this linked in the description below in case you want one for yourself. After that, the only other thing you're going to need is a pretty simple tool, and it's an 8mm socket. So you can either do this with a ratchet, or like this guy here, I've just got a socket attached to a screwdriver. Go ahead, pop your door open. Just underneath the driver's side, you'll actually see a lever here. Go ahead and grab onto that. Pull straight up. When you pull that up, it's going to go ahead and release a yellow lever just underneath the passenger side of the hood, and the hood will come right up. Now at this point you're going to have a stick here. Go ahead and move that over. That's going to allow you to attach it. That's going to allow you to attach it right into the hood, and that's what's going to keep it open. Now this is going to be the air filter box that we're going to want to go ahead and open up and be able to get into our air filter. So on the air filter box, we're going to have four 8mm Allens. So if you actually just go ahead, screw lefty-loosey, this is going to unscrew just slightly. And what's nice is these screws are actually have a catch inside of the air filter box. So just loosen those up. We've got 3 of them. And our fourth and final is hidden just behind the air filter box in front of the battery. With those unscrewed, you can lift the cover of the air filter box off. So the stock air filter itself, if you just lift up, it's going to pull right out of place here. And off it comes. This is just a standard paper filter. It's got a closed end, and that end actually interfaces with the way that the air filter box works. You can actually see that together there. So if I take this off, we'll go ahead and grab the new green air filter. Now this has been installed on another car, so you'll see a few different dents. That's just from handling, moving it from one car to the next and that sort of thing. But these air filters work really well, last pretty long too, and that's because the green area here, this can actually be washed and cleaned and moved on to the next car. Now the other thing you'll notice is that the end is actually open, so you can see this one has an open end, and that means when it's actually with the box, it creates this little bit of a cold air intake when it slides back down into place. Now this also is going to slide right into place like the other one, but you're going to do it just a little bit different because it is going to ask that we use a worm gear clamp just like this. And that's going to help to make sure that the new one is nice and snug. So if we go ahead, slide this right back into place, it's going to fit in the OEM position. You can make sure that you get it snugged up properly. And then go ahead and use your 8mm, and that's actually going to tighten up the worm gear clamp. Now don't over tighten the worm gear clamp, and that's just because it's going on to a plastic housing, so you don't really need it that tight. Now the cover slides right back into place, and this should fit nice and snug. Go ahead, take that 8mm and be sure to snug up all 4 of your airbox bolts. Down into place, and then we've got this last one. The 4th one is kind of wedged in between the battery box and the intake box. And then now you'll see that you've got your air filter reinstalled. Looks pretty nice hanging out down there with the green opening. But let's go ahead, start the car up, and we'll see what it sounds like compared to the stock intake. So with the intake installed, you can hear quite a bit of difference. The intake, you can actually hear kind of the bypass valve, a little bit of that whoosh noise as you let off of the gas and the pressure gets released. So it's going to add, for just a few dollars, a ton of extra noise. It's going to make this sound a little more engaging. So all you got left is to take the old paper filter. I love to keep my stuff, that way I can return the car to stock, slide it into the box that the other filter came out of, and now close the hood, take the car for a drive, and enjoy the pretty inexpensive mod that makes quite a difference. So go ahead, let me know down in the comments below whether or not you like these green air filters or what you would have done to this car. I like the little extra noise while still keeping it look totally stock under the hood. And please be sure to click the subscribe button so you can see more videos like this in the future.